This is it, the grand finale. But Ash Ketchum's World Championship run is balanced on the edge of a knife, so let's discuss the latest developments. Hey Charles, it's everyone, how are you today? Pokemon Journeys episode 131 was as hot as a Heatmore's hamstrings after a pleasant Sunday afternoon spent playing hopscotch, and there were big things worth talking about. As you probably know, we've hit what is presumably the second to last part of Ash and Leon's climactic World Coronation Series Masters 8 Finals matchup, and after 2 weeks packed with surprising twists, heroism, and big Mr. Fish moments, the battle has burned down to the wire in part 3 and is set to wrap up within a week. So the plan today is to discuss the core beats of the episode, as well as how 2 key details may have already scrawled the fate of Ash's World Coronation Series Masters 8 Finals battle on the wall. So subscribe for a constant drip feed of Pokemon juicy nuggets, and let's jump right in. To quickly establish the match state at the beginning of episode 131 in order to frame our discussion, by the conclusion of Ash vs. Leon Part 2, the board looked like this. Team Leon with an untouched Cinderace, Rillaboom, and Charizard, and Team Ketchum with Pikachu, Dragonite, Sirfetch'd, and Dracovish, all of whom are in pretty rough condition. And with that, Part 3 kicks off with Leon's Rillaboom staring down Ash's Dragonite. Rillaboom is the unhinged monster who practically ran through Diantha's entire team, so we knew it was going to present Ash with a big problem. And sure enough, it took out both Dragonite and Sirfetch'd. And regarding those 2 big blows to Team Ketchum, I thought it was quite brilliant how Leon, not one to fall for any ploy twice, had Rillaboom use the roots of its attack to block Ash's improvised Dragonite Meteor, killing Dragonite's momentum and setting it up for a quick knockout. No one likes to see Mama Hugonite take an L, but she did put an end to her long-running losing streak back when she took out Leon's Dragapult in the previous episode, so she didn't leave the stadium without something to sing about. As for Sirfetch'd, Shirtless Donald put up a howler of a battle, my favorite moment of which was when it used its shield to surf down Rillaboom's roots and get right in there for the melee. Unfortunately, Leon's Rillaboom lived up to the hype, overwhelming Sirfetch'd to swing the lead from Ash to Leon. But then a hero rose from the shadows, no, not Yellow Mickey, but someone a little bit more fishy. As you may recall, Mr. Fish pretty much unleashed the Kaioken technique in the last episode, suddenly becoming strong as all hell, and in the scuffle with Rillaboom, it bit straight through the roots of Rillaboom's attack to roar in with Dragon Rush and finish off one of Leon's biggest threats. What a win for Mr. Fish, truly a moment that the bards will sing of for years to come. Also, I really loved the overlay of Sirfetch'd spiritually charging into battle alongside Dracovish, as it was a great tribute to the deep friendship of Ash's 2 Galarian teammates. Next up, Mr. Fish went on to challenge Cinderace, putting up a valiant fight packed with sexy Sakuga, but ultimately getting dropped by the fancy footwork of a Pokemon who may very well be even stronger than Rillaboom. And let me just say that Leon's Cinderace is something to be very, very worried about, but we'll discuss that more in just a bit, because first off, Leon recalls Cinderace to pit Charizard against Pikachu in the Ace on Ace rematch that we've all been waiting for the past 98 episodes. And let me tell you, it was a hot treat on a cold day. Leon wastes no time Gigantamaxing Charizard out the gates in a move to quickly overwhelm Pikachu, only for Ash to respond in kind by calling on his final mechanic, the Z move 10 million volt Thunderbolt, to beat back the Firestorm. And what a nice touch it was to see the people of Alola looking on as their champion played his final trump card. The top 2 trainers in the entire world unleashing the full unbridled power of their signature battle mechanics. Wowzers, what a sight to see. Curiously enough, the incredible amount of energy released causes Eternatus to break loose from its prison in Hammerlock. Great security over there, ladies and gentlemen. Whereupon it flew to Winden Stadium to interrupt the battle, and with that, the episode concluded. Ending the episode with Leon's Charizard and Ash's Pikachu expending their battle mechanics, and Eternatus crashing the party was an interesting way to go about it. And while exactly what Eternatus is up to remains a mystery, in the preview trailer for episode 132, we not only saw Charizard and Pikachu going at it in their vanilla forms, but Dynamax energy floating down into the stadium like purple snow, and Leon's G-Max band lighting up. So I wonder if Eternatus will charge up Leon or Leon and Ash's bands such that one or both of them can use the mechanic once again, or if Ash's Greninja will simply show up to subdue Eternatus in hand-to-hand combat to the cheers of fans so that we can just get back to the main event. But whatever happens, if we look past this interruption, there's an even bigger question lurking. And that question is, has Ash losing to Leon already been set in stone? If we consider two key points that were solidified in episode 131, it honestly seems pretty unlikely that Ash will pull off the W. So let's break down these key points and their implications one by one. Firstly, we cannot ignore that the writers have stacked the deck in Ash's favor in a way that is somewhat off-putting to say the least. Of course, I'm talking about the fact that back in episode 129, Leon had the rules altered such that the one battle mechanic per match limitation was lifted, allowing Ash to use Dynamax, Mega Evolution, and Z-Move to go all out on Leon. This would have been incredible if it meant Leon would also be stunning the crowds with his own surprise Mega Evolution and Z-Move, but while Ash has employed all three mechanics, Leon has only used a single mechanic. And unless he suddenly has Charizard unleash an unlikely Mega Y plus Z-Move Reckoning on Pikachu, the battle will end with Ash having brought two extra bazookas to the party, while Leon played slappers only aside from his big G-Max moment. In other words, they have given Ash a sort of unfair advantage that would undermine his victory should he actually take all 6 prizes on Leon. To me, in a final where we want to see both competitors going at it on equal footing, it's been somewhat of a letdown to see Leon crank up the Super Smash Bros. Handicap meter to give Ash a fighting chance. I don't think that Ash could fully accept a win under these circumstances, as it would feel cheaply earned, and I'm honestly surprised that Ash himself didn't encourage Leon to use all 3 gimmicks, or at least use 3 Gigantamax transformations, back when Leon lifted the limitation and encouraged him to go full force. Of course, Leon's potential Dynamax Band recharge in the episode 132 preview could indicate that he'll give the G-Max Lemon one more squeeze, but it seems unlikely that he'll drop it twice to put him on equal footing with Ash. So while it has been a blast seeing Ash use all of his hard-earned battle mechanics, I think it would be pretty weird to see him win with the table tilted to his advantage like this. It just wouldn't be a victory befitting of our hero, and as such, it seems to make a lot more sense for him to lose or draw with Leon. And there's another piece in play that makes either of these two outcomes seem even more likely. The second oh no element in play is the fact that Leon's undamaged Cinderace is still waiting in the wings, such that even if Ash's heavily damaged Pikachu defeats Leon's Charizard, he still has to blast through an undamaged Cinderace armed with a dangerous Libero ability to win the matchup. A tall order for a short mouse if there ever was one. And it is difficult to ignore how picture perfect this scenario may be from the perspective of the show's writers. By that I mean that this setup allows Ash's Pikachu to stamp case closed on the rivalry that kicked off way back in episode 13 by knocking out Leon's Charizard, something no other Pokemon in the tournament has seemed to be even remotely capable of, while also thereafter allowing for a dignified loss that gives Ash a good reason to press onward on his quest to get better than ever before. And there are 2 ways in which it could happen. 1, Pikachu takes down Charizard but simply can't get the job done on Cinderace, and perhaps Leon even Gigantamaxes Cinderace to finish the spinach, considering that it seems Leon's Dynamax Band is getting powered up again in the aforementioned episode 132 preview trailer. Or 2, Pikachu ends up taking Charizard to a draw, showing that Pikachu is Charizard's superior since he went into the showdown with super effective damage on the board, whereas Charizard went in fresh, but also giving Leon the win by default since he'd still have Cinderace in reserve, whereas Ash would be out of Pokemon and out of luck. This presents a pretty obvious parallel to the Tobias situation of the anime's Diamond and Pearl saga, wherein a superstar trainer came in and absolutely rocked everyone in the tournament until Ash stepped up to push Tobias harder than anyone before him, and yet ultimately losing when his final Pokemon, Pikachu, drew with Latios when Tobias still had other Pokemon ready to rumble. Somewhat of a bittersweet conclusion that made Ash and his squad look like heroes all the same. Something similar to the Tobias scenario presents a natural conclusion that does justice to both Ash and Leon, and I honestly think it's pretty likely at this point. That said, Pokemon Journeys is full of surprises, and it's still entirely possible that we could end up with the big Ketchum win that I think most fans are hoping for, somewhat hollow as it would be. Of course, this would require Pikachu to beat the odds by taking out both Charizard and Cinderace, so how about you? Is Ash losing to Leon written in stone, or is Pikachu going to go all the way? I'm curious what you think, and as always, let's chat.